attracted you to this series from the outset?
What attracted me to this series from the outset was that it was an opportunity to explore and revisit and explore Trevor in entirely different circumstances. To explore him free from drugs, to explore him free from criminals, to explore him out of prison, and to explore him pursuing what he has always wanted to do since he was a child, acting.
What attracted me to this project was the chance to work with Destin. I just really, I really respect him as a person. I respect him as an artist. I saw his two films of his, one in Short Term 12 and one called Just Mercy. We also had a general meeting, maybe maybe even a year, I think, before we talked about this. And he was someone who I felt like I really, really wanted to work with. It was also at a time where I was more than the material. I was just looking for a good experience, you know. And I felt like a good experience would include the material, but it would also include the people who were invited to come out and play. And that's what I told him that I was looking for. I said, I just really want to have a good time. I want a good experience. And he delivered, you know. He definitely delivered.
This is a very meta yet quintessential story, both about Hollywood, told through a Marvel lens. Did anything about this story or your characters resonate with you personally?
You ask about the personal resonance because of its location, but I think its location is the box in which we play. And you don't play the box, you play the game within the box. The box itself, the context, like the stage setting, is as you say, Hollywood and Marvel. But within that, it's an entirely human story about friendship, about risk, about danger of discovery, threat of discovery, and search for the genuine self. These are wonderful, universal questions for the audience to be entertained by. But the box, the stage setting, is, just as you say, Marvel and Hollywood. But that really didn't dictate how we approach the material.
Yeah.
Personally speaking.
Sure. Well, what resonated with me about this series was, you know, understanding and remembering what it's like to be an actor who just needed a break. Simon says to his agent Janelle, he says, "I just need you to believe in me." You know, that was actually a line that I asked if I could say that, if I could just put that in, because I knew that's all that Simon really needed in that moment was just somebody to just believe in me. He just needs a chance, and I know what it feels like to just need someone to believe in me. Trust me, I can do it. You know, I think there's so many actors who walk into a room or who leave out of the room having not done their best work, you know, and say, I just need someone to see what I was trying to do. You know what I mean? To just believe in me. And that is, I think, a universal theme that many people will relate to, and I certainly, you know, related to that as well.
Tell me about working with series co-creator Destin Daniel Cretton and Andrew Guest.
Working with Daniel Destin Cretton, I had worked with him before on Shang-Chi, and Andrew Guest I met for the first time. They were immensely protective of their cast, of the genre, and of actually, genre is the wrong word because this defies genre, but of the material, and really anxious to give us a wonderful place to stand from which to jump and take risks within the story, within the narrative. So they were always guiding us. Your famous phrase every morning, "What's the story?" And we followed the story under their affectionate, skilled guidance. Wonderful to work with them.
Yeah, I had a fantastic experience working with Destin and Andrew. I call him AG. This felt like it was like a home team project. You know, everybody cares. Everybody's talented. We know that already. So now let's go and just make something that we all like. And let's do our best job at that. And let's get home safely, and let's come back and let's do it again tomorrow. That's what it felt like making this. And when work feels like that, then it doesn't always feel like
No,
work.
it doesn't. It's wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. You're also no stranger to superhero stories, but Simon Williams is a very, very different character from Black Manta and Dr. Manhattan. Can you tell me about your approach in playing Simon?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to have, stepped into the heroic spaces, a lot of my previous work. Actually, what was different about this and what was a pleasure about this is that I was able to treat Simon like just a guy with a dream, and a guy whose superpowers or who lived with this. I treated it like a disability, like a big secret, So I was able to treat it like anxiety. I was able to treat his enhancedness as like something that he was like a big shameful secret, you know, and that's human. I didn't have to play it in a supernatural way. I was able to identify something human and to lean into it that way. So it was really a treat. I mean, I really got like the best of both worlds with this thing because I got to do something, on the scale of a Marvel project, but I also got to do it, you know, differently. I also got to do it in something that in a way that felt grounded, and I'm careful to make that to make the differentiation because I don't want to imply that those opportunities don't exist elsewhere in the Marvel world. But we really, I really got the chance to hone into to this character's humanness, aside from being anything spectacular about him that sort of leans to the side of anything supernatural. So that was really a gift.
Nice. Thank you. Sir Ben, this is the fourth Marvel property that your character Trevor Slattery, appears in, but it's the first time we really get to know this character on a deeper level. What was it like revisiting Trevor, and did anything about him surprise you this time around?
Revisiting Trevor for the fourth time, I think gave me, through the writing and through the actors' relationship, it gave Trevor an opportunity to express his profound love of Shakespeare and the English language, and that to inhabit this series with that flavor for Trevor and for me was really gratifying. There's not a lot of Shakespeare in Iron Man 3, nor in All Hail the King, nor in Shang-Chi, but it was allowed to creep in quite strongly, and often opportunities for Trevor to quote Shakespeare as part of handing on something about acting to a colleague. It's about handing on, and it was a wonderful thing to hand on to Yahya stroke Simon through Trevor stroke Ben.
Love that. I have one last question. What do you both hope fans take away from the series?
I don't know whether I hope that fans will take anything away from the series other than sparking some thought in their head that they wouldn't be sparked if they didn't see the series. I think the series is going to ignite all kinds of sparks, just to stimulate and entertain.
Yeah. What do I hope fans and viewers take away from the series? Honestly, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I hope that they watch.